Hello, welcome to my devlog, State of GuitarSesh. This is July 23rd. It's been a while since I've done my last devlog. The last one was done before releasing GuitarSesh on Steam, I believe. I think it was the weekend before releasing it. So that'll be about a month ago, because I released it about June 26th or June 27th. And quite a lot has happened since then, so I released it. And there were some launch issues that I'm not going to hide away from. If you go on the Steam forums, you'll see a lot of discussion about that. And I did my best to address that. Solved a lot of issues that people were reporting. And here we are with version 3.0Q alpha on the developer build. So on the production build, I'm just going to skip small talk on what happened on launch. I'm just going to go with where the current status is. So on production, the current version is 3.0DD alpha, and there's good reasoning for that specific number. I don't usually do double numbers or double letters in a version. But and there was a Steam forum post under 3.0C, I think, or at least before D and before DD. In particular, there was a bug reported when you play a song. He wasn't seeing the stats show up, and I gave two possible scenarios for that situation. One, there was a known bug where when you load up as a new user, the database synchronizes the initial files, and it wasn't adding songs to the database because this works by database. And it required manually going to the database table and then synchronizing some files. So since then, in version 3.03D, I added automatic addition to the songs library table. Because what happens is if you add a new file, the program detects it, and the database has to be in sync. So that was that feature. And then the reason why I did DD is because I mentioned in the Steam post that in version 3.0E alpha that I'll have a new feature that shows up when you stop a song that explains if you did not have your stats setting save, it would give a checklist and demonstrate why. And there's several things, and it'll just check them off if it detected that current eligibility, and then it'll highlight why the stat didn't save. And that's not currently in production, right? So in production, the current build is 3.0DD, and then the build after that, 3E, is the one with that feature in it. But I didn't publish that to production because what happens is I keep building on it and building on it and building on it. I keep adding more and more and more and programming hours and endlessly in my free time. And I keep adding things, and some of the things that I added require a guitar in hand to play test, which I spend more time programming this than I spend playing. And so I have a lineup of things to test before I publish that specific this build on to the production. And there's some things I just want to go over here. I don't have a script. This video might be a little bit all over the place. I just have some checklists or a chicken scratch notes here to go over basically what's new on the current production build compared to the developer build. So let's start by going to the changelog screen. I made the screen fancier. So this is the current page. You can see if I go to the very last page, this is the production version, and then you can see every build that I push. So I'm not going the route of updating the Steam announcements every time I publish a build on production. I'm going the route of uploading the changelog inside the game on the main screen here. So you just go to changelog, and what will show here is based on the current version that you're having. So 3.0Q alpha is not going to show on the production version on 3.0D. So this is tied to a server, right? So you go to changelog, it pulls this from a server. And I'm just going to skip to version 3.0 DD alpha, which is the current production build, July 12th. Maybe 12 days ago, almost 2 weeks ago or so. So you can see where I left off. There's also been issues of the amplifier built into the program, and I have to give some context for that. My personal usage as a user of the software, I've been using an interface to connect to the software, and I've been using my own amp outside of this program. And one of the things that people brought up is people have been using devices that are 4800 bit rate or whatever you call it. And there was a bug on that because I didn't test that. That's my fault. I tested just purely like the 4400 whatever bit rate. And then I fixed that issue where it'll now accept that other bit rate. Someone helped me in the Steam forums. They gave an error and I knew exactly where to look. So I don't like asking customers to be a beta tester, but the issue is that I didn't want people to have access to the program like secluded in a group like beta testers. I wanted everyone to have access to this program all at once, so I released it to everybody. So let's get to 3.0 DD alpha, because there's issues with the built-in amplifier, like crackling, popping noises, latency, and things like that. So in this build, there's a known issue because I was allowing the built-in amp of this program to be used throughout every screen in the program rather than just during the song. And in this current build on production, there's crackling and popping noises that I fixed afterwards. I don't really want to go into the technical details. I could go under the surface and go deep onto the very technical aspects of this, but that'll be a whole different video. So I just want to go over what's different in the developer's build compared to production build, because I've been very busy doing this and I want to push it out to get it out there, but I don't want to rush it. I have to play test. So I just want to go over some of the things that I've been holding. So the first build, 3.0 alpha, there's a bug on set lists. When you go to the database screen and update your data, there's a bug, at least in some of my personal developer data going back to 2023. Recently, when I updated the play IDs, there's going to be recurring issues of when I update the database, there's this topic of backwards compatibility of having schema versions work with different updates, and we'll get into that. So first of all, there's a bug that I fixed in this version 3.0e that the database is stamped with a version. So on production, it's currently version 2 because I did something else before it. Then I fixed it. And then so when you start the program, it'll detect your version of the database and say you have to go through these migration steps to get to the latest version. And 3.0e is one of those steps. Is when you log in, it's going to automatically fix your database for the set list if your set list happen to have an issue. I'll just keep it at that. There's a bug with set lists. Won't go deep. So also 3.0e, fixing the tone that your amp has should resume and pick up from where you left off. It shouldn't reset to like a factory setting. And then I added a stop song, end of song pop-up that explains why play didn't save, such as input not detected, wrong tuning, chords not yet defined, and it gives you like little buttons saying, oh, go to the tuner screen, or something else. But it tries to like be communicative with you and present solutions. The version after that, 3.0f, I added a new feature just based on my own playtesting, because I have another project of this that's not publicly released called the Song Creator. The Song Creator analyzes my playthrough data that's created from this session, from this GuitarSesh. And there's a database of plays and notes, and it saves your accuracies, what you hit and what you miss. And I have a whole nother system that generates songs based on my playthrough data, determining the fastest possible speed of 100% accuracy. And while I playtest, when I record my albums, I got album number 5 coming out July 31st, next Friday, an album of songs I wrote and recorded with this software. I was brainstorming that it would be a good idea to have a visualization on the frets. So when you're playing the song, there's notes, and then there's a line where the notes go to, and then below the line is frets. The text is saying what which fret the note is on. So I added a feature for that specific frets text to highlight the first 4 finger ranges. So it's like you look at the bottom, and it'll move, and the anchors, it's like a yellow highlight box of your first 4 fingers, and it's going to show you like where to move your fingers before the notes even come down, so you have kind of a head start. Because one of the issues is when you're moving up and down the fretboard, if you got 4 fingers, it's not clear where each finger goes. Sometimes you put a second finger where the first finger should go, and you're moving like as the notes come down. So this anchor idea helps you get ready before, and helps you stay in the right position. I'll demo that later. So it's optional. Window in the note highway that shows where your fret hand should be for upcoming notes, with small finger number hints 1 through 4 next to the fret numbers. Works on any song, including any tab files. Figures out hand positions straight from the notes, no extra setup needed. Off by default in the current version. You have to turn it on in settings under the Appearance tab. Next version, 3.0G, did more amp fixing, or fixing the crackling sound. And yeah, when you start, it loads your save tone for real this time. Did more improvements on the stop song and the song pop-up. More enhancements on the anchor highlight box. And this says enhancement on the flow when you start the program that asks for your guitar. Next version. Oops, wrong. I always confuse the next button with the previous button. So previous page, 3.0H alpha. There's a setting I changed. Intro 6 measure intro sync is now 2 measure intro sync, which is basically for the purpose of recording multi-tracks. Is you introduce 2 measures at the very start that have the same notes, so you know when you're mixing the recording when to sync the 3 different tracks. Guitar input, I added a button that says I don't want to use my guitar right now, I just want to look around the program, because when you start the program it asks you to select the input device, and I just added option no, I don't have an input device right now. The stats screen, I fixed some things with the assistant modes. Personal best figure compares only against the same play mode. And basically there's different assistant modes. There's none, there's dynamic tempo, dynamic difficulty, static altered tempo, and the stats will only compare against the same type of assistant mode. More stop song, end of song enhancements, different settings. I didn't want it to spam a user, so I was like, I'll just show once a session, but then I said no, you should show every time as long as the user has that checkbox saved to show it. Fixed some localization, little thing you'll notice with the player, adding a player profile. Next up, 3.0i alpha. I introduced a new concept called song goals. So let's just go by the notes. You set a target accuracy for any song and arrangement, then you work towards it. And this only counts towards no assistant modes, where every note is there. Full speed, no assistance, run. So hit your targets, the goals marked complete with a celebration. So this adds a new goal screen from the main menu, where you get to list your goals and show how close each one is, and it charts your recent attempts as a progress trail. Yeah, so only clean runs count, full speed, no dynamic tempo, or dynamic difficulty, or static altered tempo. Assisted plates still show on the trail as hollow marks, so you see the whole journey. Creating a goal suggests a ladder of starters targets. I'll show that. So you pick a song and it gives you like percentage targets based on certain calculations. And then once you play a song with the goal, the results screen will tell you exactly where you landed against your goal. Goals are purely for satisfaction. They don't touch XP or career progress. And also regarding notes stats, I changed the accuracy to be a float rather than an int, a whole number, or a float or decimal rather than a whole number. That way you'll see like 99.5% accuracy rather than 100% accuracy. It won't round up. So song difficulty, I added new data calculation song difficulty. Now the game, when you load it up, it's going to look at your songs and calculate a difficulty level from 1 through 5 and store that in a database. 3.0J, this is a big one. Scoring and XP. I reworked scoring. Star rating and letter grade now reflect what the song actually demands, the technique it uses, note effects, and how fast it moves and how cleanly you played it. So I changed the way the score is calculated because of what it had some issues where certain songs that were difficult were not correctly given the correct amount of score. For example, you would be able to play a slower tempo version of a song assistant mode called static altered tempo, and that assistant mode changes the tempo of the song based on your previous playthrough data. And when you play a song through that assistant mode, you would play at a slow tempo, and it would give you the same amount of points as a song that you play at a faster tempo that was definitely harder. So it was not even in the previous version. So I wanted to rework the way the scoring was calculated. So the result screen now breaks into a clean, how accurate you played, and mastery, the short line showing how your score became XP. I have to double check that, how accurate that is. Like the breakdown, like looking at a receipt, how much XP things. It's in the changelog here, but I have to actually see if that's in place. We'll double check. So now also the biggest change is you earn XP from every play. Previously you only earned XP from career mode. So this is a big change. So you earn XP every play, not just career mode. Quick play counts, down to your save accuracy setting, yeah. And even when on a run that you stop partway through, as long as you started from the beginning. So what that means is like when I'm playing, I stop a song once I know I'm not hitting a certain mark, and I restart it. So you're going to earn XP for that as long as you reach the checklist of qualifications for what it says for you to save the stats. The biggest one being the user configuration variable for accuracy requirement. By default, 30% accuracy is required for a stat to save. That's user configurable. So part of this is data migration. So your existing play history is not touched. So older plays carry a classic tag, so you can tell them apart from one score in the new way. So that's saying like the old data, the old calculation, that old data is going to persist. Whatever score you got before, it's staying. It's only counting from here on out, these new plays. I don't want to go back and recalculate the old ones. But if you rebuild your database, XP is correctly restored, career and quick play alike. Song browser now shows difficulty rating for each song, up to 5 stars. Up here, the text says 7 out of 11, but I changed it after this. It would say out of 5. So you could sort songs by difficulty, separate from the gold performance stars you earn. You can tap the column to sort it. Yeah. Simplified song picker. I used to have an option called double-click to open song or one-click to open song, because there's a setting where if you click the song, it will show the side panel. But I got rid of that. Got rid of that checkbox, and now I replaced that checkbox with another setting that I moved from the settings screen, put it onto this song browser screen. And that's the checkbox for should it remember your position. So you click a song, it's in E flat, whatever artist folder. You click the song, so you go back from this GuitarSesh to the song browser. It's going to take you back to that tuning artist folder. So that's what that checkbox is. Song goals, I just did a little refinement to that. 3.0K. Yeah, so now the difficulty is on, out of 5s, not out of 11. Accuracy, just fixed it to display the decimal value across every screen, the stats screen, the setlist screen, the venue cards where it shows on the career mode. The tours I added to the descriptions of goals and song difficulty. That's the tutorial part. The main menu, I added the button for goals. Reordered it to be a certain order. So 3.0 L alpha, I redefined how difficulty is just based on some of my own examples, my own songs in my library. XP, there was a bug where because when you play a career, you have options setting the minimum requirement of accuracy to save in the set list, which is different than the minimum required accuracy to save a stats. And the bug was it wouldn't save a stats based on the career setting, but it should save a stats based on the user configuration setting. So if you have your career minimum required accuracy at 40%, but your minimum accuracy to save a stats file at 30%, this will now save a stats file if you hit 35%, and it still won't save to the career because you didn't hit 40%. So yeah, every play finishes on the same. So I added the screen. I'm not sure if it's on this particular version. Maybe we'll see. If it's not, I'll get there. Setup. Yeah, I just changed the section on the setup instrument. 3.0M. This is another big change. I changed how venues are unlocked on career mode because I don't want venues in career mode to be altered or adjusted by quick play, because by allowing XP and quick play, that meant you could unlock venues in career mode by playing quick play, but I didn't want that. So I changed the unlock requirements for venues to have prerequisites of completing other venues. Like, for example, this may not be correct, but it's a concept. Like, oh, in order to play Mexico, you have to complete United States. And in order to play South America, you have to complete Africa. Or whatever the correct order is, there's a hierarchy of what you have to play. And yeah, I just fixed another thing for song difficulty. 3.0N, I added some hit effects. So prior to this, the hit effects were very subtle. There would be like a very white like splash effect on the bottom of the notes by the time you hit the line. But one problem with that is latency. So the program has latency calibration, right? So like when you pluck the note on the guitar, there's going to be some latency to decipher what that frequency is, or if it's the program looks at the current note and says, is the frequency from your guitar matching blah blah blah. There's a delay in that, right? So the hit effect would have a latent effect, and that's just part of it, the process, whatever. But so I gave different options. So so option is on the effect. So like today you have the current setting where it's subtle, but then you have a bigger flash or a color burst. You could go over that later. And then there's another setting for arrival cue. So the closer it gets ready to hit, it starts like having an effect. And then there's another setting where the note is hitting the beat, then it'll flash. So you could have the note hitting the beat arriving on time, and another note hit effect on top of it, so that way you could use that note hit effect of the beat to tell your brain to play it. So you try to enhance the experience of your accuracy. And there's a miss flicker, which I haven't tested yet because I need actual guitar in hand. Blah blah blah. Career stats. I changed the statistics one that shows graphs information of your city, of your career information, and I changed your profile things as well. Yeah, this is the career mode stuff. It's on the top right of the career. You could click your player profile. 3.0 alpha. I introduced a new concept, the song complete screen, because what happens is I didn't like the concept that I had where when you stop a song, you have different options of what'll happen. You're going to have pop-up 1 saying, oh, your song didn't save because of this. You're going to have, if your song did save, you're going to have your set list to go to, possibly based on the setting if the user wants it. And then you're going to have another one to go to another screen of showing the stats if the user wants it. But I wanted to have that all consolidated and put on one screen. So like kind of like when you start the program, it shows you what's called the spine, basically a checklist. When you stop a song, it's going to show you a checklist. It's going to show your stats. It's going to show your set list. It's going to show the qualifications if it's saved or not. It's going to show your current session tuning, whatever else. But instead of going to one screen, click out of it. Next screen, click out of it. Next screen, click out of it. It's going to show you one screen with everything consolidated in it at once with little mini sections. So I could show that in a little bit. So yeah, after song completes, you land on one song complete screen instead of being walked through a series of separate screens. Experience, celebrations, tuning checks, stats, gold prompts. Yeah, so gold prompt, if you have, it'll say, would you like to add a goal, or your goal has been met. So career milestones will still play their full celebration. One clear action at the bottom of the song complete screen at the very bottom, you say play next song or finish set or whatever. Show set list after save is gone. That setting is gone. Added a walkthrough to this area as well. Just showing the appearance of it, and so I fixed some things here. Fixing some crash or whatever else, stale data. 3.0P alpha, song completion screen enhancements, saying like if your play doesn't save, you'll see why. Like your live hit miscounts, one tap fix, and a play again button if you want it. Song goal screen polish and more polish. Setting up fixes. So when you're setting up, it's not going to show like a frozen screen. It's going to show you progress bar of like what the program's doing, of updating the database in the background. And this also includes database migrations. So production database is version 2, and this dev build is like up to version 5. So you're going to have migrations from version 3, version 4, and version 5 to work through, like song difficulty, play IDs being updated, set lists fixing. Whatever else. More song goals, enhancements to the UI, making it look fancy, and more bug fixes regarding default song being chosen. And 3.0Q alpha, just mostly language fixes and bug fix. So if I go, you see here now on the screen, it's career mode, quick play, measure master goals. Before it was career mode, measure master, quick play. But I wanted the two play options up top. So let's go to settings, appearance, and you're going to see the different new hit effects. So I have it on standard. You have it on beat tick, so that means it's in a display effect when the note is ready to be played. And you go to, wait, is it anchor box highlights? It's an appearance, so we're going to turn that on. And we're just going to hit play. And I just want to show you the anchor. So if you look here, it was a bit late. Dang. Could have sworn it was earlier than that. But okay. So it shows you fret 5, or it's going a bit faster, but you can see frets text is the big one, finger text and the low one. And it's just showing you where to put each finger at, and it shows you where to move it. So See how it's like it shows us like a draft before it moves, but it's pretty accurate so far, at least on the songs that I've generated. There's some different cases where you're gonna have jumps, and you just it depends on the song. The songs that I have written are just pretty focused on writing the 4 fret range, and so for my songs at least it helps a lot. And you see also the note effect where it's subtle right now, but you see it's like a white effect. That's the beat note effect. Now it takes some getting used to. And I'm gonna hit stop. I don't have guitar input enabled, but let's go make a new user to use little eyeball. Let's go to test. Welcome back. Yeah. It's loading the old save data. No device. Skip to that. I'm gonna go to settings. Get that. We're gonna turn on cheats. Save plays on cheat mode. Blah blah blah. I'm just gonna start and stop. So this is the new completion screen. Skip the tutorial. So see where my cam is. It says open full stats, open XP screen. So there's a contradiction right now because I'm using cheats. It says your playing was detected. It has an X, and that's because I'm cheating. That's okay. Like usually when you're cheating, that will say, like, if you're not cheating, it'll say like checkbox, your playing was detected. So that you can see, like, here's an example though. So it says guitar input is on, and it says even debug save forced by cheat mode. But it says the app can read the notes. Your app matched the notes. Your accuracy was high enough. This should check. And this your goal. My goal was met or whatever. Actually I don't need a goal. But it says like, oh, you got 100% accuracy. You don't need a goal. But and it shows like your set list here. But if you hit this open full stats button, it'll open the screen like before. Or if you go to the XP screen, it'll show this. This used to be for career mode. Now it's for anytime. I gotta make the screen look nicer, but it's functional at least. And then you could do the set list, view the set list from here as well. So you could open the stats, open the XP that you got for this, open your set list, and it'll show your track list too as you play, and then your goals. It's a tutorial for goals. So here's the screen for goals. If you give an example, so it opens the song selection screen, most played. This sort is not accurate right now. I did not. Oh, I'm a test user, so the sort's not working. That makes sense for most played. So let's go here. Let's just do Allman Brothers Band. So I hit set goal. And it says like, oh, you don't have any plays for this yet. So the first setting, 30%, is based on my user setting of like the minimum accuracy for stats. So that's the minimum threshold. Oh, just set your first goal to 30% just so you could get a note log saved. You could change the arrangement here. So set the goal, and then it'll give you like, okay, set a 30% goal on July 23rd, target 30%, and it'll give you like your history of your best, or what you have, how much percentage you have to go, how many plays you did, and it'll show a graph. And yeah, so back to quick play. Can't think of what else. Oh, actually, let's go to career. Skip the tutorial. Let me go back to my other user, my main one, career. And see now how the unlock says complete all countries in South Africa to unlock. So I'm not going to recalculate the venues you already unlocked. Whatever you unlocked at this point, it stays unlocked. But the things you don't have unlocked, it just changed how they unlock. So you can see I unlocked Canada from this recent change, but I don't have Calgary unlocked. I have to complete Vancouver first. Or I don't have Mexico locked. I don't have Mexico unlocked. I have to complete Canada first. Or if I want to go to Africa or Egypt, I have to go to Australia first. But in order to go to Australia, I have to go to complete all countries in Asia first. And I don't have China unlocked. I have to complete India first. And in order to complete India, I have to complete Russia. In order to complete Russia, I have to complete all countries in Europe. And in order to complete Italy, I have to complete Germany. And I have to complete Italy in order to complete Spain. So I kind of like this system more than the XP system. But oh, look at this. I got to fix this up top. The X unlock is XP. Oops. Okay, anyways, player profile, this is what I changed because it used to be on XP, but now it's just more generic based on my playthrough data. Alright, so I found two things to change so far. The next unlock and maybe the completion screen session tuner if it's not already there. But yeah, let me go through my list here. So goals, song difficulty, anchors, node hit effect revision, database sync fixes, career restructuring, remove levels from unlocked, shift to completion venue by unlocking more, add XP to quick play, new song completion screen, amp fix. Oh yeah, I don't know if I already explained this. I think I did. But I'm fixing the amp where playing it on different screens than just the song screen itself, which was quite a big thing to address. Between Mac OS, it was easy because Mac OS has its own built-in system, but Windows, I had to make something from scratch. The issue with the crackling is when you have your guitar input and then you use your different output. So like, for example, if you have an interface that's 4400 and then you have your computer speaker output that's 4800, there is some logic in that translation of different signals that I had to get very creative with, but that'll be in this next build when I publish it. So I just got some testing to do with my guitar in hand before I publish this build to the main production branch. But overall, it's working out. If you're not aware, in this program you could submit feedback here directly, and you could take a poll, even though I only have one poll going right now. And yeah, I put a news bulletin a couple days ago saying like, oh, the dev branch is updated, but I don't want to push it yet, just to give people awareness. Like, hey, I'm still here, you know. Trying to be communicative with the project. It's early access. There's bound to be issues, but I'm here to work on it, make it the best app it could be, and a lot of the feedback has been helping me in the Steam forums. People posting bugs, issues, critique. I'm directly addressing it best I can. So I think I'll end this devlog here before it goes on too long. See you in the next one.